I am Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News Valentines Special. That's right, we're swapping politics for poetry and referendums for red roses as we look at all the aspects of love in lockdown. And joining me are a quartet of heartbreakers. Comedian and broadcaster Ashley Storey. She's joined by comic and actor Sanjeev Kohli. And facing them are stand-up Susie McCabe and comedian Mark Jennings. Woo! Yes, it is the Breaking the News Valentine's Special, where love is indeed in the air. But thanks to COVID restrictions and the 2-metre rule, nobody here's going to be catching it. Actually, my cousin got married on Valentine's Day. She was a total bridezilla. I could tell right away because when I pulled up to the venue, there were hundreds of Japanese people running away from her. We've got so much to get through, from first loves to bitter breakups, so let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess the two Valentine stories that have been mashed together into one headline. So, Ashley and Sanjeev, can you tell me what you think the first story is?
It's that special day again when you can
stand in a garden
and tell someone you love them.
Social distancing can make it particularly tricky to
catch Cupid's arrow
through a window.
Ashley, any ideas what our first story might be?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here, Des, but is the first story that it's Valentine's Day?
I'm pleased to say it is the right answer, yes. After the longest January on record, we've made it to arguably the most romantic day of the year. So, Ashley, what about this? It is Valentine's Day. Is it a day that you celebrate and enjoy?
It's a day that I like because while Clinton cards and Hallmark and your chocolatiers are making money from one side of the pile, I'm sweeping up the other side of the pile, because there's nothing fat, lonely women love more than watching another fat, lonely woman on the internet being sassy. So I pretty much cash in this day. Also, I've got a side hustle where I eat pickles on the internet for £10, and there are lonely men who pay me to do that. So Valentine's Day is a winner pickle dinner for Ashley.
Susie, what about you? Do you celebrate the Valentine's Day?
My other half, my girlfriend, went, lot of nonsense, don't be wasting your money, because I'm not having it. Exactly, right, exactly.
Oh.
And you're like, that's a bit harsh, but equally it's 25 quid for a red rose, so
yeah,
I'll buy it in the 16th. Do you know what I mean?
I'm assuming you have a joint account as well, so if you know she spent 25 quid on the red rose,
No. But lesbians, we can't be trusted with money.
Can I ask a question? And I think this might be a bit stupid, but I was told when I was wee that St Valentine's buried in the East End of Glasgow.
Aye, his bones are in Glasgow Cathedral.
Are they?
Aye. If there's a city in the world that's going to kill the patron saint of love, it's this city, and it's probably been for supporting the wrong football team.
They should have like a thing. They should do a thing for a romantic boning come to Glasgow.
Amazing.
That's Visit Scotland. Take that. That's something that you can run with. Put that in the airport when people arrive.
Obviously, another thing that Valentine's Day is synonymous with, terrible rhymes and poems. So we're going to ask our panel to give us one. I'm going to start you off with a topical one from this year. Roses are red, violets are blue. Why are you sneezing? I hope it's the flu. Ashley, you like a wee rhyme. Go on, give us a Valentine's Day poem.
Roses are red, COVID is rife. Deliver me food and I'll be your wife. That's to give to your favourite Deliveroo drivers, and I think that that's a business there.
Actually, we've spoken about this before. As romantic as that is, it's very threatening. There are men crying coming to your door. They never emerge from your house again.
I tipped them, Des.
I don't know if we can move on from that. But we're going to try. Sanjeev, have you got any poetry in you for Valentine's Day?
I've got a couple sticking to the same format, obviously. Roses are red, violets are blue, your wheelie bin's full, I'm basically stalking you. And this one's a bit more obscure. Roses are yellow, violets are yellow, chrysanthemums are yellow, I am Chris Martin. Thanks, Ashley. Thank you.
That's lovely. Mark Jennings, don't know if you're much of a poet, but any thoughts as a wee Valentine's rhyme for us?
Roses are red, violets are fine. I've had the vaccine. Do you want to come round to mine?
Ashley and Sanjeev, well done. You get 2 points for that. Susie and Mark, what was the other story we were after?
It's that special day again when you can
stand in a garden
and tell someone you love them.
Social distancing can make it particularly tricky to
catch Cupid's arrow
through a window.
I believe this next story is love in lockdown.
Love in lockdown is absolutely the right answer. Yes, with restrictions still in place, there has never been a tougher time for relationships. However, it's not all bad news, with recent research showing that 1 in 4 people say their relationship had actually strengthened over lockdown.
Well, I was in a relationship during the first lockdown that wasn't going too well, but the problem was my girlfriend was an ICU nurse, so I was genuinely scared if I broke things off, I'd then catch a bad case of COVID and end up in her ward. Last thing I want to see is her coming up to me like, I'm sorry, Mark, but this ventilator wants to see other people as well.
You've got to think about these things, Mark. Totally agree. Susie, what about you? How difficult is it to keep a relationship going and survive during lockdown?
Well, do you know what? It's been all right, right? Day 5 of the first lockdown, so it's that, like March the 28th, we're decorating, because, you know, that's what we've done, right? Decorated a 1-bedroom flat 14 times. And it was great, right? And we had this lovely moment when we were kind of decorating, and she turned round to me and she was like, you know, if I need to be locked down with anybody in this world, I want to be locked down with you. And I think we'll get through it. Right, that's lovely. Right. Day 330, she's like that today. Is that you away? When you coming back? Are you going to do something after it? Maybe visit your parents, because you can stay out for as long as you want, because it might just be nice for us to get some time apart.
Ashley, what about you? What do you think? How difficult is it to maintain a relationship during lockdown?
I don't know. My parents live in my house. I have absolutely no chance at romance. It got to the point where we had to be that open during lockdown that my dad, probably about 6-7 months into the first year of lockdown, was like, where have all the AAA batteries gone? And I had to be like... Sorry, Dad.
And Sanj, do you think dating has changed forever then?
My mum and dad, they had an arranged marriage. I mean, lunch was at 12 and dance was at 2. But no, they never actually met before the wedding day. So all they had to go on was photos. And that's my theory as to why my mum is considerably shorter than my dad. Because obviously, when she sent a photo, she was a lovely looking woman, but there was no sense of perspective. If she'd put like a 2-pence piece or a curly whirly in the picture with her, my dad would have known that she was teeny. My dad's like 6'2" and she was 5'3". He got a bit of a shock on the wedding day. She was lovely, but she was just a bit shorter than you'd imagine. But there's a beautiful innocence to that.
There is,
there?
it's lovely.
Do you know what the worst thing about being on dating apps, and this is 100% true, is in Glasgow, the amount of men whose profile picture is them with my mum.
Have you seen my profile, Ashley?
No.
I don't know how anybody finds love in lockdown. I struggle to find pasta. Yes, the difficulties of finding love during the pandemic is the right answer. Well done. At the end of the round, the teams are all square. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, but as we can't go out and about at the moment, we've asked a couple of our pals to send us their thoughts on 2 very different aspects of love. So, Susie and Mark, what story do you think the Queen of Scotland's weather, Judith Ralston, is on about here?
So when I experienced this for the first time, I must have been about 18, and it's really still a vivid memory. It was explosive. You know, I thought I was experiencing something that nobody else had ever experienced. I was walking on cloud 9, but I can remember trying to be something that I wasn't really. I was pretending I really enjoyed crazy art, and I got it, I understood it. I loved little children. I wanted to pat every dog that ran past me. Would I have changed it? Yes, I'd stick to the rock and roll, Judith.
What do you think she's talking about, Susie?
It sounds like the first time we done breaking the news together. No, I think this is your first love, isn't it? This is that moment when you just that's it for you.
It certainly is. Well done, Susie. That is the right answer, yes. No matter how much time has passed or how many relationships you've been in since then, you just can't forget your first love. And I recently found my first love using Facebook and sent her a wee message. She replied saying she wished things were like they were when we first met, and by that she meant no internet. Patched again. Susie, if you can share with us, who or what was your first love?
My first love, and it might be a bit of a surprise, was John Collins, the Celtic and Scotland football player. And then when I had to come out to my parents, and you could see them going, but you really love John Collins. And I was like, you also really love Joan Collins, but that's more it's more a kind of homosexual thing.
Wasn't expecting that. Mark Jennings, what about yourself? Who was your first love?
When I was 18, I went out with this girl called Kimberly Clark, which is also the name of that brand that make dispensers for paper towels in public bathrooms. And she dumped me and it really broke my heart. So my mates would take me on nights out to try and help me forget her. But then I would go to the bathroom and see Kimberly Clark written everywhere. All the emotions would come rushing back. And it wouldn't help that one of my mates would be standing there, like, grabbing all the paper towels, going, look, mate, I'm pulling your ex.
Ashley, what about you?
I think
Cast your mind back. Tell us. It's like therapy. Who or what was your first love?
Do you remember this one? I didn't know who he was, but when I saw him on TV when I was a little girl, I was like, oh, you're gorgeous, Eric Menendez.
Chips?
No, the guy who murdered his mum and dad.
Oh, aye.
Amazing.
Not Lyle, just Eric.
You know what? It's for you, whatever floats your boat. Sanjeev, I'm coming at you for some sense of normality, if we can, to think back to your first love.
My first sort of awakening was, and it says a lot about how old I am, was Nena that sang 99 Luftballon, 99 red balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is about the 80s was that we had the threat of mutually assured destruction. So we had nuclear weapons pointing at each other. So the 4-minute warning was a massive thing in the 80s. And we all had the discussion, what are you going to do in the 4-minute warning? What are you going to do in that 4 minutes? And I'd formulated a plan where I would get off with Nena. I hadn't obviously thought it through because in 4 minutes I'm expected to get from Bishopbriggs to Dusseldorf. But also the fact there'd have been a queue of 25,000 guys just from Bishopbriggs in front of me.
Here's a question for you, Mark. I'm going to kick off with you. What's the most ridiculous thing you've done in the name of love?
See, the first time I ever went to kiss somebody, I didn't know that you had to open your mouth. I just thought you had to kind of like pucker the way you do when you give someone a wee peck. And the worst part about it was, like, it was this pre-arranged thing, so all of our friends were there watching us and they just got to witness me have this failed attempt at breaking my VL.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No.
Was she open and you closed?
I think so, yeah. She was older than me. I didn't understand this at the time because I was only 28 and...
But just even using the expression VL, the whole generation that are VL now.
Yeah.
Because they can't kiss
A
anyone.
VL means...
Virgin lips.
Virgin
Oh,
lips.
okay.
We've educated Des.
I had no idea. My first love took something from me I can never get back. My young person's rail card. Your first love is right, of course. 2 points go to Susie and Mark. So Ashley and Sanjeev, it's your turn now. We caught up with my old mate, comedian and farmer Jim Smith. What is Jim on about here?
Hey Des, good to see you. Missing you, pal, but hope you're getting on fine. Aye, so this is a difficult situation, especially in the farming community, because you tend to see this person maybe a week after, and she's probably going out with your second cousin or something by then. So it can be difficult. But it's a part of growing up, I guess. And one thing is, you certainly find out who your mates are, don't you? Don't you, Fliss?
I don't know.
Ashley,
Ashley, do you
you want to jump in this?
Talking about getting broken up. He was talking about breakups.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely
Yes.
right. Well done for getting the answer. Yes, it's breakups. As a nation, it seems we are obsessed with relationship breakups. There are current questions about Kim and Kanye, and has anyone really gotten over the most memorable Scottish split, Lulu and her accent? I broke up with my girlfriend because she said she wanted to try something new, and that turned out to be a guy from her work.
It's weird breaking up in the middle of the pandemic because you know you're not going to be able to really go and meet someone else. So, like, the choice isn't really between staying in a relationship or becoming single. The choice is between staying in a relationship or becoming celibate. Like, if you break up with someone now, you might as well be leaving them to go and become a monk. It's like, listen, it's not that I don't still care about you. It's just that I've always wanted to learn how to make wine.
And when you talk about breakups, I want to get an insight into the worst breakups. So, Ashley, worst breakup that you've either been involved in or a story that you've heard about?
My friend did, like, literally the worst revenge thing. So she was going out with this guy. They've been going out since they were like 18. They get to like 25. She's like, put a ring in it. He's like, I need to sow my wild oats, because he was posh. And she was like, no. So then he cheated on her. She caught him red-handed. He completely fronted it up and was like, I told you I need to sow my wild oats. This is what you get when you play with fire, baby. She, within a year, had split up his mum and dad, was engaged to his dad, and demanded at family events he call her mum.
That's amazing.
They're her dad, the dad and her, and she'll to this day be like, no, it was love. He helped me pick up my heart after it had been broken. Nah, she 100% just fully like hand that rocked the cradle him, and it was the best thing that ever happened.
Personally, I use my radio voice to sound sincere in breakups. So I usually say, the relationship's broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye. Works every time. Yes, the breakups we like to forget is the correct answer. 2 points go to Ashley and Sanjeev. Now, this round is all about who is in the news. So I will play you a clip of a mystery person who has a connection to Valentine's Day. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Ashley and Sanjeev, you're up first this time. Who is this, and what is their connection to Valentine's Day?
I think that food is sexy. When I'm talking to a camera, I feel it is quite intimate. And I feel I'm talking to a sister or to a friend. I'm not trying to be alluring. On the other hand, if you're going to be tagged with anything, I mean, that's better than a lot of things I could get thrown at me, so...
Well, it's the woman, isn't it, that could make the Kama Sutra sound sexy. It's Nigella Lawson, obviously.
Of course, Sanja is Nigella. It's the food queen herself, Nigella Lawson. Nigella is a firm believer that food is the language of love, although she does pronounce microwave as microwave. So I wouldn't be surprised if she actually thinks that food is the language of lavy. Sans, there's this whole thing about linking love, romance and food. Do you think food can be the way to your heart?
Well, it shouldn't be. Because, like, if you go on a first date, for example, and I did this as well, the first kind of proper big date, I took my missus to the Oregano, and I had lots of, I saved up for it and all that, and, had, like, really rich kind of fish stew and stuff, and then if you think about trying to get amorous after that, I mean, if you press the wrong bit of me... I'd be like a Casio keyboard. You could get chords out of me. It just seems completely counterintuitive. What you want is just like just a wee kind of a ginger snap or something. Just to keep things dry, and do you know what I mean?
It's the best tip we've had all show. Susie, what about yourself? This idea linking food and love, is food the way to your heart?
I remember going on a date and I had said, I'll buy the tickets. And she had said, I'll bring the contraband. And I was like, oft, woman after my own heart. And she pulled into the car park and she kind of gave me a wave. And she had get out the car with her rucksack. And I was like, she has bought a rucksack of sweets. What a woman. And we get into the cinema and the rucksack was so big it had its own seat, right? And she just kind of leaned in. She was like, would you like some snacks? Oh, well. That was me. I was like that. Yes, I would. And she went into that rucksack and she pulled out Tupperware with broccoli and carrots and celery and dip. Because she was like, oh, you said in your profile that you wanted to get fit and healthy. I'm like, it's an internet dating profile. The only thing that was true in that was lesbian, Glasgow, end of.
Did that relationship go any further?
No, we're still together.
Well, we'll talk about food, and Nigella makes it all sound and feel so sexy, but it's not like that in real life. Ashley, you're looking at me like you have something on this. Do you have a food deal breaker?
People who eat their pizza crust first. What's wrong with you? What did your mother do to you as a child where you can't eat a pizza right? It's the pointy end in your mouth. The crust comes later if you feel like it, if you're still hungry after the cheese and toppings. I'm getting quite passionate with this,
right.
but right way in. It's just right way in the whole, don't try and experiment with that.
Who's going crust first on a pizza?
Monsters does.
Of course, this is the perfect time to sit down to a romantic meal. A lot of people think a home-cooked meal is incredibly erotic. And to those people, I say, you're making shepherd's pie wrong. Well done. 2 points to Ashley and Sanjeev. That was Nigella Lawson, a woman synonymous with a love of good food. Right, Susie and Mark, now it's your turn. Who is this icon?
I would have given everything to be Olivia Newton-John. She was like my idol. So I had those kind of dreams and desires to be that person, but I think when it really came down to it, it was more about the job as opposed to I want to get on that show and become an instant star.
Is it Kylie Minogue?
It's the right answer. Well done, straight in there. Yes, it is Kylie Minogue. Once one half of iconic TV couple Scott and Charlene from Neighbours. And now they find themselves in a Radio Times list of the top TV couples of all time. Mark, do you think TV couples get it right when it comes to love and relationships?
Well, when my first girlfriend dumped me, I always thought we were going to get back together because I thought we were going to be like Ross and Rachel, you know. But it's quite depressing. You think that you're Ross and Rachel and then you realise that you're Gunther.
Rachel should have been with Joey.
That's controversial. Oof.
You're Joey, Mark. Good looking guy.
Thanks very much. How you doing?
So some examples getting it right and wrong. Sanj, for many years, TV's tried to portray love and relationships. Do you think they get it right?
No, but I used to love watching Heart to Heart again. They always seem to be like in love, but I mean, I've got my theories for that because I don't know if you've ever done this. If you've ever had like an argument with your significant other over something really trivial, and then you maybe aren't talking overnight, and then they don't text you, and you think, oh God, what's happened to them? And then it puts everything into perspective. And the thing about Heart to Heart is they were always in danger. So if they had an argument about, you know, bin day and they weren't talking to each other, 3 hours later, he's going to either fall off his horse playing polo or he's going to get shot in the face by a Colombian warlord. So with that degree of danger at all times, they're always going to be in perspective.
I think that the thing that film and TV gets really wrong, and I'm glad you brought this up because I'd like to air an issue I have. The thing that film and TV get wrong is we back the wrong horse. The girl we're meant to pick, the boy we're meant to pick in the film is the bad one. A good example, Christopher Plummer recently passed away. I love The Sound of Music, Des. I love The Sound of Music, but bear in mind that film is about a single woman who's in her 40s who meets a really hot guy who finally, in Nazi-occupied Europe, who finally meets a man and is like, oh my God, the Baroness Schrader, it's finally her time to shine. I found a man, I don't have to have wains, he's got 7. I'm set up, this is great. A nun who's a teenager turns up with a guitar case and a grey dress, and suddenly Captain Von Trapp's like, whistle blowing, I'm away to go and pump Maria, who's got a bowl cut in the gazebo. And Baroness Schrader and Uncle Max are left to fend for themselves in Nazi Germany while they climb every mountain. Absolute disgusting. That woman's story needs to be told. Hashtag justice for Baroness Schrader.
Susie, what about yourself then? Talk us through your TV crush.
Well, Des, I invested a lot in my TV crush. A lot for a long, long time. And I watched a lot of period dramas, watched a lot of sci-fi, because I just loved her. I just loved her. And then what happened, Des? Then she get cast in The Crown, Des. Then she get cast as Thatcher, Des. And that crush just, it couldn't survive, Des. You can't have a crush on Margaret Thatcher.
Now,
Exactly. That was the tough.
Take a breath, Susie. I know that you have a fondness, a soft spot for Gillian Anderson. And I know that that's been a very confusing time for you over the past year. But was there anything about her in The Crown?
No,
Maybe when she was talking in such a way to those miners, did that do anything for you?
Oh, Susan.
Can you hear that?
Oh, Susan. Did you pay your poll tax, Susan?
I really fancy Maya Jama. In fact, I'd like to take this opportunity, on the off chance Maya Jama might happen to see this, to shoot my shot with her. Where's my camera? Right here. Maya, I think you're absolutely lovely in every single way. I'm a comedian. I think I can make you laugh. If you ever fancy a wee Zoom date, hit me up. That's it.
Was that it?
Aye.
Okay.
I think if that does get broadcast, by the way, Stormzy is going to batter me, isn't he?
She's not going out with Stormzy anymore.
I know, but he'll be raging. It's his ex. I've not heard about unhappy breakups.
Where is my camera to shoot my shot? Is that it there? Hello, Hugh Edwards. I'm very attracted to you. I don't know what it is. I had a dream that we had this weird thing in a bunk bed in Camp Beaumont in the Isle of Wight when I was like 18, and ever since then I've been really digging what you're bringing. So, Hugh Edwards, if you like this jelly, then you're ready.
And there we go. We've come all the way around from love to TV crushes and something slightly creepy, of course. It was always going to happen. TV always makes you think women like men who take risks. The big one, of course, was the milk tray man. But when my uncle was caught in a woman's bedroom at 2 in the morning trying to feed her chocolate, he just got to jail. I think that'd be a lesson. Yes, Kylie and Jason fame is the right answer, and 2 points go to Susie and Mark. Right, it's time now for our final quick-fire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a love-themed stat, and all the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you will hear this.
Your bum's out the window.
That is Scottish heartthrob Richard Madden there, talking about your chances of taking him out on a date. Or he's talking about having sex in a smart car. We're not quite sure. Right. 1 in 50 of us has met our soulmate whilst doing what? Ashley.
Playing words with friends.
No, but great answer. 1 in 50 of us has met our soulmate whilst doing what? Ashley.
Whilst being in a relationship with somebody else.
Such a great answer. You keep giving good answers that aren't they right.
I'm furious.
But it's worth it just for that noise. Let's see if we can get to it. 1 in 50 of us has met a soulmate whilst doing what? Mark.
Cocaine.
No, it's not. so good. No, it's not. It's not the right answer. I can give you the right answer and put you out of your misery. 1 in 50 of us has met our soulmate whilst travelling. Oh. Hard to imagine in this world. That's why we're saying it's a lot harder to find love in lockdown. But there you go. Nearly 6 million couples do what every Valentine's Day? Mark?
Post on their social media. Don't know how this one puts up with me.
I'll tell you the right answer. It's pretty obvious, actually. Nearly 6 million couples get engaged every Valentine's Day.
Your bum's out the window.
Oh, there we go. There's our klaxon. That means that Richard has maddened. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Susie McCabe and Mark Jennings. Well done. And commiserations to our runners-up. Let's hear it for Sanjeev Kohli and Ashley Storey. And as our loved-up show comes to a close, we will leave you with the Breaking the News top tips for a long-lasting relationship. You could spice things up with some role play, but be warned, the rules of Dungeons and Dragons are really complicated and the pieces get everywhere. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!